The CDC says 9 out of 10 American adults consume way too much sodium from eating foods like potato chips and pizza. It's a major health concern because excess salt is associated with hypertension and ultimately heart disease. NJN News health and medical correspondent Sarah Lee Kessler has the story.
Your blood pressure is 138/60.
Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of men and women in this country. But the CDC says new cases could be greatly reduced if Americans would reduce their salt intake.
Strokes can be cut by 66,000 a year, and new cases of heart disease can be cut by 122,000 a year.
Current government guidelines call for a maximum of 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, or the equivalent of a teaspoon of salt. But for many Americans, that's way too much.
The recommended amount is 1,500 milligrams, which is about less than a half teaspoon of salt. And that pertains to African Americans, those with high blood pressure, and the elderly.
The CDC study finds that 9 out of 10 adults consume excess sodium. Table salt is just part of the problem.
I have high blood pressure, and it's kind of hard to keep it down because everything that from consuming beverages to foods, everything has a little bit of sodium in it.
The CDC says Americans need to be much more aware of sodium hidden in processed foods, including soup and lunch meats like bologna. 3 slices of this adds up to 630 milligrams of sodium. 1 slice of American cheese has 270. This individual-sized pizza has more than 1,000 milligrams.
What salt does in most people is it retains fluid in the blood vessels in the heart. And by doing that, it causes the heart to work harder.
The CDC recommends avoiding processed foods, reading nutrition labels carefully, and choosing fruits and vegetables over potato chips. Sarah Lee Kessler, NJN News, Patterson.